The truth will be heard. Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Nicole Lane loaned her ex-lover money to pay his health insurance deductible when he needed treatment for testicular cancer. She says he refuses to repay the loan. She's suing for $5,000. Brian Thompson says after his cancer treatment, he was unable to satisfy the plaintiff sexually and says she's only suing him because they are no longer having sex.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. Your Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. All right, this is a case involving Nicole Lane. Miss Lane, I understand you're suing Brian Thompson for $5,000 over a debt that was not paid to you, correct?
Absolutely correct.
Tell me your story, ma'am.
About 3 years ago, my dear friend Brian here came to me and told me that he had testicular cancer.
Okay.
And he needed $5,000 to pay his HMO so he could get treatment for it. And being a good friend and caring for him, I agreed as long as he paid me back within a year.
How you doing, sir?
I've been better. About a month ago, it came back, so I'm, trying to work my way through this. And
So it was in remission for a period of time?
Correct.
You said so he says. You don't believe that he's...
Not at all. You know what? He went into remission shortly after it and has sat on his butt for at least 2 years. I don't know if he got a medical marijuana license and he's just sitting at home smoking and playing the video games or what he's doing, but does he look too sick to work to you? The truth of the matter is, we had like a very good friendship, if you know what I mean.
Why are you winking at me? What does that mean, very good friendship?
It means that, we didn't play tiddlywinks.
So I take it, Mr. Thompson, that the two of you have a relationship.
Well, it was definitely easier to get the money from her through the relationship.
Oh, my goodness. Are you serious?
I don't think you realize how that sounded, sir.
What I meant,
because looking from where I sit, I don't necessarily see the two of you together, but then that's just my own perspective.
We have similar interests and similar,
Okay, but the two of you, ultimately, you're in a relationship.
We were.
You were.
We were.
And so that's why you gave him the money.
Yeah, and
how long have the two of you known each other?
About 5 years.
All right. And so during the 5 years, this relationship has been consistent for that 5-year period?
Well,
off and on.
No, after he was diagnosed 3 years ago, he lost a ball, and he has a bit of an attitude, and so no, it has not been a relationship as such.
I wouldn't expect her to understand that.
But the truth of the matter is, he sits here and he says, because I had this and both. What was the guy's name who won the Tour de France? He only had one ball.
Okay, all right. Hold on, Miss Lane. We are in a court of law.
When America's Court returns.
I wouldn't expect somebody with no testicles to understand what it feels like to lose one.
Too much information here. Too much information.
Your Honor.
And later, closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. We're back with the case of Nicole Lane, who is suing her ex-lover, Brian Thompson, for refusing to repay a loan.
So, Mr. Thompson, is there any dispute that you took the $5,000 to cover your medical expenses?
Well, like I said before, Your Honor, when I did take the loan,
Did you say to Miss Lane...
I have a check.
Well, let me take a look at it. Did you say to Miss Lane, I need the $5,000 for my medical expenses, I will pay you back?
The original agreement was a 2-year payment back plan.
Now, she says 1 year. You say 2.
I say 2.
And now, was there anything in writing, Miss Lane?
But it's been 3.
It's been 3 years?
Yes.
All right. So either way, it's been 3 years. It's been over 3 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
So after 2 years, what happened, sir? Because I see that she wrote the check, $5,000.
Well, Your Honor, due to, obviously, I wouldn't expect somebody with no testicles to understand what it feels like to lose one. So I suppose in my situation, due to...
Too much information here. Too much information.
Your Honor.
Yeah,
all right, I understand.
Your Honor,
Hold on, one at a time, one at a time. So ultimately,
I've been putting forth the effort, but obviously due to my...
how much money have you paid Miss Lane
Zero.
based on that $5,000? Is it zero, sir?
Correct.
You haven't made any good faith effort at all, saying, you know what, I haven't been working.
I've been trying to get back on my feet.
Here's $100, just so you know I'm not just completely ignoring you.
You know,
have you at
he's
least,
got-
Your Honor,
Miss Lane, I got this.
I'm sorry, but you know, he's got all this equipment.
No but. Now you're being disrespectful to the court. That's not how Boss Ross gets down up in here. Mr. Thompson, have you made any sort of good faith effort to pay her anything just to show that you are not taking advantage of the situation?
I haven't. And not because...
Why not?
Not because I don't want... I've been trying to get back on my feet. I've been battling depression. You know, it's hard to recover from a situation like this.
And over these last 3 years, you haven't worked at all?
No.
During the period that you were in remission, did you take any sort of affirmative steps to at least show Miss Lane that you appreciated her giving you this money, which is substantial?
He did nothing.
I'm talking to him. Quiet. Mr. Thompson? Did you do that?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That
Not out of not effort, but, you know, women don't want half the pie. They want the whole thing.
No, if you owe me $5,000, I'll take slice by slice by slice.
But sure,
But not giving me anything is telling me that you don't value the monies that I gave you, that you're not respecting what I'm doing.
I've told her
Listen to
time
what
and
I'm
time
saying.
again.
You were in a vulnerable place.
Still am.
Fair enough. Why didn't you ask your parents for the money then?
My parents passed away a few years back. I don't have a lot. I don't have the car accident. I don't have a lot of family. I don't have a lot of, you know, stable friends that I feel comfortable in. She was the closest person to me at the time. And
Stop. Did you hear what you just said? She was the closest to me. Translation, she was the only one there for me during my time of need. And so many times, all of us, Boss Ross included, we don't appreciate the folks closest to us. So here you are in a situation where the person who writes a check for $5,000 and you can't even say, here's $50 to show you that I appreciate you, hand down. If you're not talking, you're doing great. Do you understand how not giving her anything would make her feel unappreciated?
absolutely.
So if you understand that, why are we here?
Again, I have tried to make some small payments, small,
I can't hear you because your actions are speaking too loudly. You can't say, I'm trying to do this and I'm making this effort and not even give her $1. Or even say, I can't pay you for anything. Can I come over and wash your car? So all you're doing is just affirming what Miss Lane is saying. You all had a deal. You knew you had to pay the money back. After 3 years, here we are. Is that correct, ma'am?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Now, so you didn't have any other financial resources?
Not at the time, no.
Did you have to declare bankruptcy?
I almost did, but I didn't.
Did you file? No. Okay. Miss Lane, you are absolutely entitled to feel like you've been taken advantage of. I totally get it. Based on the evidence received in the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the defendant. In this jurisdiction that you all are from, there is a 3-year statute of limitations.
Get out of here.
You said by your own testimony it's been over 3 years. The only way that that could have been refuted is if he had declared bankruptcy. That would have told the statute, which is why I asked, had he declared bankruptcy? I was doing that for your benefit, but based on his test, and he didn't know that. And I would be able to find that out if, in fact, he had declared bankruptcy. So based on that, unless there was some sort of mental incompetence or he was a minor, those are the only things that could toll the statute. So unfortunately, as much as you are entitled to that $5,000, your claim for that amount, ma'am, is dismissed. And that is the order.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant.
Judge Ross he's a tough judge, but he's got heart.
Judge Ross had to give the decision he gave, even though I don't think it's right, I don't think it's fair, but the law is the law, so I have to recant my...
Closed captioning provided by...
Bad, and I just didn't think I got it fair rolling.
They were completely at fault for me falling down and the cake being destroyed. So it's fair that she had to pay for it. It's not our fault. It's her kid's fault.